Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to discuss if Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment will be canon or not. Plus, I also want to predict which characters we'll be getting right now for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. So, in this Reddit post, it says Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is the newest title in the Hyrule Warriors series and is developed by Koei Tecmo Games with support from Nintendo. The game features epic battles against hordes of enemies as it tells the untold story from Hyrule's distant past of the imprisoning war that ultimately led to the events of The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Fans of the Legend of Zelda series and players of both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom experience the thrill of battle and this canonical tale featuring Zelda, Rauru, and other familiar characters. So, alright. When they say canonical tale, they explicitly say this is a canonical tale. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity does not explicitly say a canonical story. I think they said it's a new story during the Calamity. I think that's what they said, a new story. I don't recall them saying canonical tale. Now, this one though, they explicitly say canonical tale. Now let's look further down into this. So, this one right here. This is one of the shots in the trailer. We don't see Sonia here. Let's look at the trailer right now. Alright, and then I do out as well. It says the story leading into The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. They didn't say a story. It's the story. The story. And so that is another factor that kind of makes us wonder if this is canon or not. Kind of confirms it's canon, but it's not exactly confirmed if it will be canon or not. Here, we only see Rauru, Minoru, Zelda, and the former sages. Here. We don't see we don't see Sonia at all, and we don't see any of the current sages or Link. And I'm assuming that this does take place during the imprisoning war, because here
really is the past.
You can see Blood Moon right there. So this is definitely during the imprisoning war, because that's where we fight a lot of monsters, and that's when Ganondorf betrayed Rauru. And so there we don't see Sonia anywhere. So if Sonia does die, then that does kind of make this game canon. Now, if this game is not canon and Sonia survives, then how does she survive? Well, we can assume that before Ganondorf kills Sonia, Link would hop in out of nowhere and then save Sonia. And so that's what could have happened if this game's not canon. Sonia would survive when Link would hop in. He would probably find a stone, or with one of the stones, he would warp back in time and would stop Ganondorf from killing Sonia, as he saw the memory of how Ganondorf killed Sonia. So Link would hop in out of nowhere and then save Sonia. So that is a possibility. But this one though, the developers, they're saying that it is a canonical tale, and the story leading into the Legend of Zelda: Tears to Kingdom. So that means that there's no twists happening. Like Sonia would not survive. Raru, he would sacrifice his life to stop Ganondorf. Now, here's the thing. The story leading into Legend of Zelda: Tears to Kingdom. Now, here's why a canonical, like, if this game being canon, would still bring a happy ending. Now, in Age of Calamity, or during the Calamity, the champions, they would die. The Blight Ganons would kill the champions, and then Link, he would get knocked out, and he'll be in slumber for 100 years. So, that is a pretty bad ending for Hyrule. So, Age of Calamity, they altered the ending so that it will be a happy ending where all champions survive and Link would not get knocked out. That's what happened. But this one, though, there's no bad ending. Because even though Raru sacrificed his life to save Hyrule and Sonia would die, the outcome is still good. Ganondorf, he's sealed and is dehydrated after many years, so that is why a canonical tale would still bring a happy ending for Age of Imprisonment, because the outcome is good either way. In Age of Calamity and Breath of the Wild, well, for Breath of the Wild, the outcome ended up being bad, but in Age of Calamity, the outcome ended up being good. And so the Age of Calamities, they had to create a happy ending. This one, though, because the outcome's still good, the Hyrule would still win either way. They thought that a canon tale would still work and bring a happy ending. And in the ending scene, Zelda would swallow her stone, and then she would transform into a dragon. And in the post-credits scene, that's where we can see Link in the Tears to Kingdom timeline. Link from Tears to Kingdom would be in the Great Sky Island, and that's where we get to see him. So yeah, the canonical tale would still bring a happy ending. But if you saw my Tears to Kingdom analysis trailer, I told you my hot take is that I don't want the game to be canon. A lot of people, they want the game to be canon. Well, I would love to see some twists here. Some people, they don't consider Age of Calamity to be canon, but some people, they do consider Age of Calamity to be canon. This could be like that. The developers are saying that Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment is canon to the Zelda timeline, but they don't explicitly say, like, this is canon. This is a canonical tale to the Legend of Zelda Tears to Kingdom timeline. But they do say the story leading into the Legend of Zelda Tears to Kingdom. And so when they say the story leading into the Legend of Zelda Tears to Kingdom, they do kind of say that it is canon to the Tears to Kingdom timeline. Because in Age of Calamity, they don't say the story leading into the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They just say a new story during the Calamity. And so that's what kind of makes me wonder if it's canon. And I'm starting to feel like this game would be canon. But the reason why I don't want the game to be canon is because I want to play as Link. I want to play as the current sages. That would be really nice to play. And so far, it seems like Zelda's being the protag a lot more recently. First Echoes of Wisdom, and now she's a protag of a spin-off game, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. So it does seem like the next 3D Zelda game, Zelda would be the protag. But that is off the topic. Anyway, back on topic. Based on like what we've seen from this post here, and then this right here, it does seem like this game would likely be canon. Along with this shot where we get to see all these characters, but no Sonia, kind of implying that Sonia died during this point. it kind of makes me think this game would be canon. But right now, for me, it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Now, I have talked about if this game's going to be canon or not. Now, I want to start predicting which characters we'll be getting. So, I don't need that. So, Ancient Hero. I do want to talk about that last. Ganondorf 2, I want to talk about that later. So, let's talk about the roster from Age of Calamity. We got Link, we got Zelda, we got Teriko, we got Impa, we got King, we got the champions, we got Hestu, we got the current champions, we got Pura, Robbie, Master Koga, Suga, Great Fairies, Guardian, Monk Mascotia, You're Not Playable, You're Not Playable, and then Calamity Ganon. So yeah, everyone here, minus Aster and Harbinger Ganon, are playable. And so based on that, we got Link here, there. We got Impa. We got the current champions, these four: Sidon, Yunobo, Teba, and Riju. And then we got the Yiga clan, as well as some miscellaneous characters like Hestu, Great Fairy, Monk Mascotia, and the Guardian. Yeah. Well, Hestu does play a role in the story, whereas the other characters, they don't play that much role in the story. Alright, but now, let's talk about Ganondorf right now. Actually, no, let's talk about Sonia. Because it's really ambiguous if she's going to be playable or not. Because Sonia, she's the queen of Hyrule at that point. And she has a secret stone as well. And because she has a secret stone, I'm thinking that she will be playable. I think that Sonia would be playable in the game. I can't tell which weapon she would use. But, I mean, she does have... if I recall correctly, she does recall a cup that will bring the cup back to the table when Zelda accidentally dropped the cup. So, she does have some Zonai abilities as well, recall. And so, with that, she can use Zonai abilities, and therefore, that kind of is one of the factors that makes me think that she will be playable in the game. I don't know the weapon. I think it will be a Zonai sword. Or actually, not the same weapon as Zelda's. I mean, Rauru has the spear, Zelda has a sword, so maybe Sonia would have the long sword. Or something. Or the bow. I don't know. But I do believe that she will be playable. How she would be playable, I have no idea. But I do think that she will have some Zonai abilities she can use. Now let's talk about Ganondorf. And by the way, this is a pretty sick art. Here, so this is Ganondorf. This is Ganondorf in his demon form. And then this is Calamity Ganon. Right there. That is irrelevant. So let's talk about Ganondorf. I think that he will be playable on post-game. So once you defeat Ganondorf, you'll do some missions so that you can unlock Ganondorf. And I'm saying that because right here, we see Calamity Ganon. Calamity Ganon, he is indeed playable. So, that's during the post-game. And because that happens during the post-game, it is safe to assume that Ganondorf could also happen to Ganondorf. He could be playable during post-game. And he would use 3 different weapons at the same time. So, a sword, a mace, and a spear. And actually 4 weapons, actually. A bow as well. 4 weapons in one moveset. And then his weak point smashes or special abilities would have this demon form right here. So yeah, that could be his weak mode smash or special ability. But I do believe that Ganondorf would be playable on the post-game content. And now, the Ancient Hero Ancient Hero. Now this Ancient Hero has sealed Calamity Ganon 10,000 years prior to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild timeline. And so, this guy, Ancient Hero, he is after the Imprisoning War timeline. So like, after Ganondorf is sealed, Calamity Ganon is formed. And so I believe that... So I do believe that he will likely not be playable in the game, at least during base game. I do not think he'll be part of the story at all. But I don't think he will be in the base game either. If Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment would do DLC, like Age of Calamity, then I could assume that the Ancient Hero would be playable as a DLC character. That is like the only possibility I could find, because Ancient Hero, if I'm correct, is after the Imprisoning War time. So yeah, it wouldn't make that much sense for him to be part of the story in the Imprisoning War. So that's why I don't think he'll be part of the base game, at least. And so if this game is canon, then it will be kind of like these three: Sonia, Ganondorf, and then the Ancient Hero. Those are the only three possibilities I could find. The other possibilities for me that I could find are, we could see a construct being playable, a flex construct, because if they were able to implement a guardian, if the guardian's a playable character in Age of Calamity, then I don't see a reasoning why a construct cannot be playable in Age of Imprisonment. But if the constructs will be playable, then, and the Age of Imprisonment would do DLC, then I do believe that the construct would be part of the DLC. And now, so because this game is a canonical tale, which is the story leading into the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I could only see the roster being smaller than Age of Calamity's roster. So it will just have these 7 characters plus Sonia, Ganondorf, and Ancient Hero. 10 characters possible, plus 11th character, which will be the construct. And yeah, that's the possibilities I could find. Maybe another Age of Imprisonment exclusive character. That could also be possible, so like 12 characters. But I do believe we'll see at least 12 characters. And I think that we'll see at least 12 characters in the base game, not DLC. Like, if we see 12 characters in the base game, that would be really nice. Because Age of Calamity has 10, 25... it has like 21 characters. It has 21 characters. And so, Age of Imprisonment, I think 12 characters would be pretty good for a base game, if the story is canon. But if the story is not canon, there's going to be some kind of twist going on, which I do hope there would be. Then I think we'll have like some kind of construct. Nah, I don't think we'll see a construct. No construct like Terraco. I think that Link would just warp back in time as Link warp back in time with with him like having a secret stone, having a stone that would warp him back to time, and then the other sages would also warp back to time. Sidon, Yunobo, Riju, they would have a stone, they would warp back in time. Not you, Teba. Tulin, he would also warp back in time with the stone he has. And so they would help the current sages, Zelda and then Raru. And so Link would be the first one to hop back in time and save Sonia, and then each of the current sages would save their former sages. So it's like that. But overall, if this game would be canon, then I could see these 7 characters plus Sonia and Ganondorf being playable. Maybe and hopefully Ancient Hero would also be playable. I would like to see him be playable as well. And then we could see a Construct being playable as well. And yeah, plus a Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment exclusive character. That is what I can see happening. Plus, if this game would not be canon, then I can see Link being playable. Link, Sidon, Yunobo, Tulin, and Riju. They would also be playable. So that would be 5 extra characters, so like 17 characters, like that. So 16 to 18 characters maximum, but 12 characters minimum. That's what I'm hoping for the base game at least. But with that said, those are my predictions for Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment characters. Whether the story is canon or not, I do believe that this story is canon after what they said right here and what they said in the trailer here. And so, yeah, I do believe that this story is going to be canon as far as I know right now. Like maybe in the next trailer, they might show some twists happening. Most likely not. But I do hope that this game will have some kind of twist that we'll see Link and the current sages being playable. But yeah, that's all for today. I hope you enjoy my video. Like this video, and subscribe to this channel if you want to see more content. But with that said, I hope you enjoy this video, and I wish you well.